Can we jam? She said, I see you do this one time.
What's up?
Welcome to the podcast.
What up?
Yo, Trent, that's how we cut up, bro. Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome to the
up?
podcast. My name is Lea. This is Between the Sheets with Lea.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
am your host with the most.
Host with the most.
I am a God-fearing, action-taking, money-making, manifesting queen.
Yo, I love when you say that.
Thank you.
Give me good feelings. I am a co-host.
No, you a special guest.
You're a special guest now.
Y'all see the awkward silence? Because I knew this was going to be the funniest
are a
part of the
special
podcast
guest.
is when I introduce myself. I am the old co-host.
Between the Sheets, old co-host, Dana
My
Keith.
name is Dana Keith, father, filmmaker, creator, owner of Dana Keith Film. And I got my other co-host in the building with me.
WHITNEY, period.
Period.
What?
Yeah, heard.
Period, Poe?
And then we got a special guest / co-host in the building.
What?
What's going on, guys? I'm really
She put the womp womp. Why she put the womp womp on you? She hit the wrong button, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Was it the DJ horns?
Yeah. Now we getting there. We getting there.
Yes. No, I'm just happy to be here. I am Trent Cotten. I am a comedian and a local videographer and editor.
What?
Yeah. Plug your business. Plug your business.
Oh yes. Formative productions. If you guys need any editing videos like that, that's what we do.
Yeah.
I love it.
But no
I love
other
it.
editing for other boudoir photographers.
No, look.
getting him already.
Hey, look.
I'm very possessive.
I'm letting you know right off rip. This is what's going on in here. Welcome to the podcast.
Yo, it's good to be here. I like the energy. You guys are funny
Likes the energy.
already.
See? You're going to fit right in.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna be sad watching the first episode without me. I will be sad. But look, man.
So can you inform,
I
because we just jumped right into telling everybody that you're gone. Can we
okay.
update our people, our followers,
this
what's
is
going
kinda,
on?
Well, let's kind of do two things, or I would probably say three things at once. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing is I want to celebrate this podcast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I think that, in all times there should be a celebration. Whitney, you feel like celebrating?
Sure.
Y'all felt that energy? All right, I just wanted to check on y'all. Anyway, so I want to talk about like the celebration, because like we started like early on with manifestation.
Yes.
And we started talking about our dreams, taking action.
Yes.
And like literally I've talked about all the things that I've witnessed with Lea. And then she kind of made a post with me that I ain't gonna lie, when you made this post with these people in this truck in the background, which I love them. But it made me cry. It made me cry because it was like, damn, she's seen me grow. So like to inform the podcast is kind of like, Lea literally spoke it, and she talked about like, what she sees for me. And like that I'm within this process. I'm in the midst of it.
Yeah, scaling.
Right. And it's been crazy to see, because I literally watched the old podcast about imagination. I watched a podcast prior to that, and I'm talking about that.
Yes.
Literally.
Yes.
We are speaking about these things.
Yep.
And then I watched, because this is why I wanted to steal the podcast. Trent, we're going to introduce you in a minute, because this is kind of the third part of it. But like, I really started to watch my 2 interviews with y'all. And that's kind of why I want to steal this podcast, is because, I've made almost 50 podcasts in my exploration with podcasts, but there's only 2 that are very, very, this is biased. I'm sorry, brother luck, no luck's given, but like there's 2 that's really special to my heart. And like I watched those yesterday, both of them. And like I've never shared that type of stuff. And then on top of that, I've never really sat back and listened to it in the way that I listened to it yesterday. I'm gonna get emotional because like I love Lea. I'm so uberly thankful for like the position that she's welcomed me into in her business. Her family on top of that, like I really golf with her family, like they family. Her kids, like her dogs, I still don't know all the dogs between one and the other. There's 2 that I get mixed up, you know what I'm saying? But Arlo's my homie, I know that one. But like my son knows Lea, he knows Lea's house. Like there's something special here that I am a little bit sad, but there has to be a celebration because like it's everything we've talked about.
Yes.
So I want to bring you into the second thing that I want to say is like how important those interviews are to me. Like, those two are my favorite because I've never really told my story. And on top of that, I interview everybody. And like, y'all know I like to be in front of the camera, but I'm always behind the camera. Even on these podcasts, I interview people. Nobody interviews me.
Yes.
So the second thing I want to say is how far I've watched you've grown as a podcast host, as a team, this like Boudoir Suite, like the infrastructure has been beautiful. I almost cried because it's beautiful to see first person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the second thing. And the third thing is what people don't know is that I'm a big fan of Think and Grow Rich. And like, I'm huge. I listen to it all the time, but there's one thing in there that I've always struggled with, which is it's called a mastermind group. And you are that for me for a long time. Brother is that for me. But I've been working with a group of people for the last 3 months consistently. And at first it was 1 meeting per week, but then I was like, in the book it says 2 meetings per week until you can go down to 1, not 1 to start out with. So I've been meeting with this group, and that's kind of how I met Trent. Was he was a part of my mastermind group with Jules, who is the last podcast guest on our platform.
That's dope.
So like, we've been working these things out and kind of figuring out like, hey, like, what are our dreams? What can we focus? And we hold each other accountable on a weekly basis. And I promise you, when we first met, I spoke about what I dreamed of. And literally it's happening.
Yes.
So I wanted to steal the podcast, not because I want to overshadow Trent or even like be emotional, because I am sad Whitney is mad at me, but I love y'all. You know what I'm saying? But like, this podcast is special to me because, you know what I'm saying, of the dynamic that we have behind the scenes. Y'all don't really know, but like, we work together great. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it has been great. And to even talk about transition and then to bring Trent in, it's a great time to like the way that God works.
Yeah.
And y'all kept pushing me to talk about like that dark shit.
Yes.
And I kept trying to go away from it. You know what I'm saying? But I do want to share with people like the joy that I've gotten from sharing my story is priceless. You know what I'm saying?
I love
So
that.
like, I appreciate y'all in a different light. Trent, I love you, dog. I appreciate you. We've been working on this for a while.
Yep.
I'm excited to see what happens and grows. I will be sad watching a podcast, but the news is that like, you know, the thing we talked where I broke down crying because of this opportunity that I had 2 years ago.
Yes.
It came back around and he called me. You know what I'm saying? It was like, yo, I want to have a meeting. In that meeting, I didn't know what he was going to say, Whitney. And like, we talked about some things and they were kind of like ideas. And to be truthful, I haven't done anything for him. I've just been in that building, kind of understanding. I did some film, but he hasn't seen no projects, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then the last week, he kind of turned the focus, was like, hey, I kind of want to, I put it up for grabs, but I was like, yo, I really want to do that short film for you. It's a 30-minute film. And he was like, fuck the social media. Let's focus on that first.
Yeah.
And that's when it switched for me. And then the next few days, he hit me with a podcast. I'm sorry, y'all. But he hit me with a podcast idea that he wants to do. And with those two already, I know. And then he threw me an advertisement project that I'm working on. So like, it's just starting to go too fast for me to even try to hold on to anything. So like, that's where, let's be honest with y'all.
So Josh, let me just give a shout out to Josh.
Yes.
Thank you for stealing Dana away from me.
I love you, Josh. But look, I think
no,
this,
Josh,
but
Josh
this is the
you're,
cool
you're
thing.
in the right hands.
Like, this be real. When I got that phone call, I turned around and called you.
Yeah.
For real. Because I knew you knew what it was.
Yes.
And I wanted to be straight with you first before anything else.
Yeah.
So kind of under the scenes, Lea known, but I tried my best. Maybe a week and a half, I tried to hold on to this, but like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm just giving you shit, Dana.
Things.
I'm just giving you shit, but I am
We're gonna
real
celebrate.
talk. I'm celebrating for you,
I
and I'm
love y'all.
very, 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 very proud of you.
I love you,
I
Whitney.
am very proud
You the
of you.
realest, for
I'm
real.
so proud of you.
Yo,
You deserve everything that's coming to you.
I love you. Y'all gonna make me cry. Let's move on. That's all I wanted to say. Still the show. What up, Trent? Welcome to the building.
Welcome to Between the Sheets.
Man, I got goosebumps.
Welcome.
But it's powerful. Everything
It
that he
is.
said is powerful because, you know, the word says that you have the power to speak life or death within your tongue. And when you're speaking life, life will come to you. You have a choice in anything that you do. So whatever it is that you're speaking out, you can manifest those things into your life, good or bad. It does not discriminate. We talk about that over and over and over again, but that is the power of the tongue. Yes. Like it really, really is just speaking those things into existence. And so early on, I told Dana, it's going to happen for you. Yeah. I see big things for you. And the platform that he's going to step on is no joke. Like you are going to be under the wing of a very inspiring, very move fast man that is going to take you in a direction that none of us could have done.
He's going to push you.
And he will push you, and he will push you, and you'll feel probably like you're stretching in a way that, you know, is tough, but it's a good stretch. Right. It's always a good stretch. And so for on the reels, shout out to Josh. I love Josh. I will always have love for Josh and what he did for my business. I know what the man can produce. I know what he's about, and he is amazing. He truly is. So
it's a powerful platform. I'm excited. We spoke about it. Yeah. And it's crazy the way that like Trent has seen some of these things that I've spoken about. And then it comes full circle. It's Charlie, for example, is one funny thing he was there for. But even like the next week, we had a meeting about SEO, and like the meeting was with a very respectful. He's probably a very successful gentleman who knows SEO. And the whole time, everything that I learned from Josh 2 years ago, I'm doing to this guy's website, and I'm seeing the things that Josh would do different.
That's dope.
So literally a week later, that motherfucker calls me. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a powerful moment. Like I'm a living testimony of, it's not me. It's definitely God. Like I want to give him his glory, but like
he moves with intention.
But it's within us. Like we carry that torch for him.
Yes. And
like
you know, one of these days I want to try to get Josh on this podcast. I hit him up, but I don't know.
I'll talk to you. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know about. He lost my number or something, or his number changed. But Calvin's my plug. So Calvin, get me hooked up. I still want to have Calvin. I want to shout out to Calvin really quick too, because Calvin is Josh's right-hand man, and he is amazing at what he does.
He's killing it.
He does so much for me. I'm thankful that when Josh started to really explode, that he still allowed Calvin, you know, to work with me on my platform and just continue to treat me as family and whatnot. So that was really important for me. So shout out to Calvin too.
Wow.
Who's a part of that. So.
Yo, you know about transition, you know what I'm saying? You know about transition. Let's talk about transition. All right, let's talk about it.
So I feel like that is what it's about, because we are saying goodbye to Dana, but we are also saying hello to Trent and welcoming Trent into this to this scene, to this energy, to this vibe.
What you think about this whole thing?
You know, I'm sitting here again. I was listening to Dana, you know, speak, and I've told Dana this before. You know, every single time I like leave a conversation with Dana, I'm a little more motivated than I was prior to. And that word transition, you know, this whole, I guess, 2 years has been a big transition, and I know I'm not the only one with the whole pandemic. You know, that happened. But I was living in Seattle. In April 2020, May 2020, pandemic happened. I was working for the XFL. It was this football league that Vince McMahon, the wrestling WWE guy, had started, but the pandemic took that out. So I decided to come home, which was Colorado Springs. And I was just in this big transition period of, I didn't know what I was going to do. And that's when Jules, who I met in like 2012, reached back out to me, and I was helping her with her 719 Daily Dose. I'm sure she spoke about that on the podcast.
Yes. That'll be out quickly.
Shout out Daily Dose 719.
And what's crazy about, you know, Jules is she was telling me about Dana for about a year. And I was like, oh, okay, all right. You know, just kind of like, oh, he shoots video. And it was just weird that the universe, God, you know, it was like they were trying to push Dana and myself together for a whole year.
Yeah.
And then finally I meet this guy maybe 2-3 months ago. And again, like when he was talking about, you know, he spoke to me about Josh and spoke to me about, you know, kind of dropping a fumble in the bag, you know, 2 years ago. So it's no, you know, coincidence that it came back around because Dana was, you know, speaking about it, you know, talking about it. So But even in this short amount of time, the 2-3 months of like meeting Dana, I feel like I've grown so much in, you know, where I'm headed and where I'm going. But I'm just thankful for my relationship with Dana, although it being very short, because it's led to, you know, meeting, you two here and bringing me.
We
into
always
your
talk
guys'
about
lives.
like one step goes to the next
Yes.
step. You know what I mean?
Everything
and
happens for a
and it's so
reason.
crazy because like what people don't know is the reason why I know Jules is that's Brianna's best friend. You know what I'm saying? So like I actually met Jules like one of the first times I met Brianna's family. So I've known her and we kind of had like a distant relationship, but she supported me for all these business things. So, and this is funny. I'm just slightly joking, but he reminds me of my little brother, like the one that my dad let him move into my house
I don't look
during
like him,
that
though.
time period. And they look just alike.
Really?
That's the funniest part.
That's
is
crazy.
I'm gonna put it side by side just because I'm gonna put a smile. They try to make their face different because they are twins, and they had the same mannerisms. Like they're not identical, but you know when you
Right.
You know what I'm trying to say. But
Yes.
it was funny how we connected, and then we have the same camera, we shoot the same stuff, same lenses. Like
Guys, I say this over and
Man,
over
it
again.
was
There's
wild.
nothing by it.
Accident.
There are no accidents.
At all.
Everything and every person that's in your path is there for a reason, and every opportunity that comes up, anybody that you meet, like it's all, I believe, like, and again, I always say that I'm a different kind of Christian because, you know, if some of these things, if I speak out loud, people will really judge me on.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is I believe that ahead of the game that we chose the individuals that we needed in our life.
Absolutely.
And that we seek them out, you know, even unknowingly,
Yep.
unconsciously, and we meet. And whether, you know, it's afterwards or before, or whatever the case may be, I believe that you meet again
Yes.
and again.
Right.
And
Everything
again,
is by design.
you know,
Everything
so,
is by design.
yes.
that's powerful.
Yeah.
Well, I love this podcast. This is fun. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited.
Yes.
It's going to be the best podcast you ever did.
It's gonna be the best one.
This is already
everybody can
is.
continue to do
Yes.
their
You know what I'm
podcast.
saying?
And,
You know
you
what
know
I'm
what I mean?
saying?
You can do
Whatever,
another one, but
you
deep
do.
down, you're gonna miss that intro
We
music,
got that
and you're gonna miss
raw,
our
real,
cut
and the authentic.
Authentic.
Yeah, y'all got a different version for real. Y'all got it's crazy. My sister and some of my good friends like just caught on to those. You know what I'm saying? And it made me go back like, what y'all talking about?
Right.
You know what I mean? And then I went back. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, your sister posted. She posted your story and she shouted out, which was really awesome. I can't wait to meet your sister.
It's beautiful.
She's a hot mess.
I love
Stop it.
So
We
wait,
are.
how did Dana and Leah? How did you guys start?
Oh
Like,
my gosh.
Like this is actually like the funniest thing
it's-
for me to say.
yes.
Like I did No Excuse November, and she caught on and she was a fan through the like family because like this is the way I think it happened because at the time me and Brianna's family were were pretty close and they were all sharing my content. So like it was just you know what I'm saying.
Brianna and Jackie. So Jackie is my cousin.
Right.
Have you met Jackie?
I don't think so.
No. So she's entwined
No, she
with
was at the
Thrive a little
party.
bit.
She was at the party.
with you guys. Yeah.
She was at the party.
I was really intoxicated that night.
yeah.
We all were.
Leah let me know that. She was like, "You need to bring your ass over here." I'm
It
like,
was
"I'm in
fun.
bed."
It was fun.
There were some cool individuals there, so I was like, "Come
Yeah.
and meet them." Like, there's
Yes.
some cool people here. You know what I
Right.
mean? You walk
Yeah.
into you never know what you're walking into. There's
How the
a
vibe
but-
was. Yeah.
Oh no, I do remember.
So that's the connection. They're cousins, and then
And yes, and I do believe that somehow, some way, there was some content shared, and I was like, "Who is this dude?" And the very first
thing I
message-
say is, "Good morning, you motherfuckers." You know what I'm saying?
That
So,
was
like,
the first thing she showed me, I think, the
So
week
this is-
after you hired me.
Yeah.
She was like, "You need to watch this dude.
Yeah.
His fucking videos on YouTube are dope.
And
We
he was
need to
very
watch
consistent.
this."
He kept putting it out.
And then Leah was one of the first. I say one of the, and I don't give her credit because she was the first person to ever greet me. I didn't know Leah. I
Yeah.
get out my car.
Yes.
She's on her porch at her old house. And what does she say to me? Good morning, you motherfucker. And I just looked at her like, what? Who are you? You know what I'm saying?
So I had hit him up like we should do some things together. I saw that he was doing video, and so that whole manifestation of that was something that I always wanted to kind of incorporate somehow, some way to be able to do. I was doing weddings then. I was doing, you know, a lot more than just boudoir. And so I was like, we should try to do something. And I felt like he was hungry in his business, and so that would be a good opportunity. So that's how we met.
Yeah, and then literally at that time, she put me on a Josh, and then that's when I whole thing happened with me. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy to see, like, I'm a testimony of like not giving up.
Yes.
Like talking about, like living the stuff that I talk about, because I talk about failing to success. Like literally, this is failure to success. You know what I'm saying? So like, I just can't wait to see like what the next 12 months, like as I, to be real, like as I put my head down again and keep working, you know what I'm saying? And then like, we'll figure it out. You know what I'm saying? So that's literally where
And he
I'm
went
at.
away for a while. Like he went away because he was going through all of his stuff at that time. And
that was when you started planning this, right? And then we came over. Or did Dana come back?
It was a
before
little
we
bit
moved?
later. It was, I think that the plan for this started a little bit. I was just so in awe, and you know, we always got to start with gratitude and everything that we receive. And I'm glad that is why we are celebrating today, because gratitude is everything in whatever it is that you manifest. Like to have gratitude first and foremost from the moment that your eyes open, because not everybody gets that opportunity.
Right.
There's people that are in the ground that don't have the same opportunity today that we have right now. And just, you know, I was thinking back of building the studio and went back on some videos, and I was like, gosh, 2015 is when it was being built. 2016 is when we kind of did a grand opening. And here we are, just not even 6 years later.
Yeah.
That studio is gone.
Right.
And we're here. You know what
Starting
I mean?
over.
So I don't know if it was at that particular time, but he was going through his stuff.
Well, I can tell you it was 2018. Like I know for sure that's when I did my run that you caught. Like 2018 November is when I was launching them.
Yes.
Back to back to back.
Okay, so I think that 2019 was really the kind of the drawing and of this.
Yeah, because this is a cool take back for anybody that's a listener to our podcast. We spoke about like the times where I would pop up at your studio, and the one time you came out with Chris was the first day I quit my job, April 1st. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
It was April 1st, 2019. The first day I quit, I went to Lea's to do a big photo shoot to promo my business.
So it was him and Chris in the
So
back.
me and Chris, and that's April 1st, 2019, the first day I quit my job.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
so
when
I
you
gave him
came
that
in.
platform then too. Just said like, use the studio, you know, do whatever you guys need to do. Like it's there for you.
Isn't
you know
she
what I
so
mean?
dope like that?
Yeah,
Like she just allows you to jump.
So that's the craziest thing is like I'll cry right now because Lea was the first, because I give brother the credit for giving me a mentor early, right? And as a business mentor, he cooks. It's not what I do. It's creative, but it's not the same lane. That he's my mentor. Then I met Lea. Lea was the first creative mentor that showed me that in the world that I'm in, because I was in photo video, she's photo, that you can have a successful business. Yes. And first and foremost, she didn't just show me, she invited me fucking in.
Yes.
Door open, showed me the whole thing. Niggas don't know that. Yeah. I'm sorry to do that. But people don't know that you welcomed me in the first day, showed me your entire business to feed my mind. And from then you were my creative mentor, right? And now, like, as like if everybody says this, like as your mentors, you have to find someone that's doing what you want to do.
Yes, you have to surround
and like, that's
yourself.
who fucking Josh is to me. Yeah. It's like he's doing what I desire to do. I didn't desire to do all this other stuff. I just love it. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy the way that works and all of this.
So I'm hearing a bunch of, different things. And, as I'm listening to everybody, talk, I think about, people who have these same ideas, thoughts, dreams, and want, these goals that they have set for themselves. And something that I'm still figuring out on myself is as big or as much as I want to be, a successful comedian, I know for a fact I can't make that happen like just on my own.
Right.
And it, you really do need a combination of, believing in yourself and in your skills and your talent,
right.
Of course.
but also having other like-minded people, mentors like, around you to help you like reach your goals. And I know
100%.
sometimes I would get so much into my like, no, I gotta just, I gotta do it myself. It's me. It's me versus the world.
Right.
But it's not like that.
No.
Yeah.
That's a really good point that you bring up, because it is so true that we often do take so much weight upon our own shoulders and try to make things happen. And while that is like it,
like you have to have that, but there's also like another graceful way, like to be on a team. So people always talk about this, and for me, I'm the number one person on my business, all right? But then when I walk in this room, I'm number 3, you know what I'm saying, respectfully. You number 2, I give you number 2. I play my position, you know what I'm saying? I play my position, you know what I'm saying? I walk in Brothers Restaurant, I'm definitely not number 1. I play my position, you know what I'm saying? So I think that there's something special about, like, having the audacity to dream for yourself, but then not having, like, whatever that is, too much pride to go play on another team and play a different position.
well, that is what you would call the secret sauce.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the secret
Because
sauce.
here's the thing, and it goes back to the lack and scarcity that we talked about in one of the podcasts, is that, at the very beginning of my career, I was like, I can't share this, and I can't, I got to be careful who I have, and I can't be doing this, and they can't be knowing about this. And I was coming from this place, and that is not a good place to be at, because you're holding on and you're not giving God even the opportunity to show you his platform.
Yes.
Right.
Because that's the ultimate platform,
Right.
is what God can produce for you. And no, again, there's people, there's me, there's Josh, there's brother, there's, all these other people. But ultimately, if you open up your platform to God, he will provide everything and everybody that you need.
Yes.
Whether or not they're believers or not, it doesn't make a difference.
Yes.
He will make a way for you. And that is so powerful. And you have to have other individuals around. I talked about that as well, that there was a point in my life where I was always the tower, that I was always the one that was giving and giving and giving. And when shit hit the fan for me, I looked around and I was like, who is
gives to
feeding
me?
me?
Yeah.
Who is
Exactly.
feeding me? And I realized
That's
that it was
real.
my own fault. It was my own fault because of my own intimidations, because of my own insecurities, that I wasn't allowing other individuals to feed me. And
Like-minded individuals that actually are above where you want
Yes.
to be. You have to surround yourself with people
Doing better
that are
than
doing
you.
more than you, not
Yes.
where you're at, because you can't grow if you don't have people around you that are going to push you.
And so
That's
I
why you're
prayed
about
for
to
it.
grow.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%, because the level of competition forces you
Yeah.
Yes.
to play different.
Yes.
And I'm a great example in that. When I started this comedy journey in March of 2020, maybe the first 2 months, I think I'm funny.
Yeah.
And I was so like, I don't need help from anybody. I'll write my jokes, my way.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until I finally put my ego aside and linked up with some other comics who I thought were funnier than me, have been doing it longer than
Why
me.
are you pointing at Whitney?
Well, because she said, because I'm this is kudos to what she just said. And I'm showing her love.
Yes.
Like,
yes. No, it's the truth.
finding people who are better.
You got to point at Leah next. Even it out. Even it out.
No,
Hey, maybe give her 2 points.
Pointed to Whitney.
like this.
She knows what I'm talking about. Just saying.
I cannot.
Anyways,
Well, now I want to know what the inside joke is, because it's going over my head.
Right, me too. Just point at her twice, make her feel better.
we're not cutting up about that today.
Come on, what's going
some
on?
comedians.
No,
Saying,
no,
like,
we're not talking about this today. Back to what you were saying.
Well, but to Whitney's point,
Between the
and also Leah's energy.
Your ass up.
Oh, Leah's energy. Okay.
Between the sheets. This is
There's
the
no
juice.
way. I feel like I've been able to ascend and be. That's not
It's
me.
over there. It's over there
Okay.
somewhere.
I was about to say not
Bruno
on my
Mars
first
again.
day.
Where's it at? Where's
Oh,
it
is
at?
that? That's you.
Dana don't like Bruno Mars.
Come on,
Mine's
you
on,
tearing
mine's on super
just
silent because I didn't want to be the one.
I'm sorry.
Super
It's me.
silent.
I'm like the unprofessional
It's all right.
hostess with the mostest
Look.
today. I apologize.
today's just a hot mess.
I thought my phone was over there, so I would have turned it on.
So what was the joke again?
We're not talking about that today.
You know what I'm saying?
We're not talking about that today. We can talk about that after the podcast.
Yeah. No, but so finish your thought. I'm sorry.
It was.
We'll keep that.
Yeah,
between
to
the
finish
sheets.
my thought, it was, I feel like the reason why I'm where I'm at in my community or in my comedy, I guess, level is because I opened up and brought other comics in where I thought like, no, I don't want them to see my jokes.
Right.
So I thought they were going to be stealing something from me, but it's that it was that part about feeding. I needed to be fed
Lacking
from
scarcity
other
versus-
people to elevate me to where I want to go.
And
Right.
and in that, you will be abundantly blessed, because
Right.
we talk about giving, and it's not just money. It is your
Yes.
time, it's your wisdom, it's your knowledge, it's your experience. And what I noticed in that sauce was that if I teach people
In that
and I
sauce.
grow them and I, you know what I mean, that I'm getting back, and there's an appreciation there. People, because that is a true, authentic, vulnerable place that you put yourself in, where you are sharing information and knowing that
Yes.
they can take that and do whatever it is that they want with it.
Right.
But it's not going to harm me. And that's what I found
Right.
out, is that it's not going to hurt me. It's only going to grow me,
only
you
gonna
know?
help you.
So
Yes.
if you're coming from that place of lack and scarcity,
Yes.
and you're trying to think that you only know you know the only rules to photography, you know the only
Yes.
rules to
Right.
video, you know the only rules to this or that.
Right.
You
That-
gotta jump. You gotta
yeah.
jump. It wasn't until I removed myself from the complacency of makeup and really pushed myself Denver Fashion Week
Right.
around people that
Where we met.
really we did not meet
yeah.
at Denver Fashion Week. Stop it. You in them leather pants. Yuck. I still haven't seen that picture, by the way. I need to see that.
Come on,
I
man.
was
Stop, you have to see
fashion
that
Come on,
picture.
man.
You still have yet to see that picture, by the way.
That's on the first podcast if y'all want to take it
we
back.
asked way back then.
Okay.
But it wasn't until I removed myself and put and forced myself around people that were more talented than me and
Yeah.
humbled myself and was
Right.
like, okay, let me just be learning at your feet.
There's
There's
a big lesson
something
in
that I can learn
Yes.
from this. There's something that I can learn from these people. And either they're going to give me their knowledge or they're not. And I
Right.
just keep it moving until I find what I need that's going to feed me.
It never,
That's it.
I never am surprised anymore at the people that walk through this door that come to this place. I'm not surprised anymore, because I prayed when I was going through everything that I was going through. I said, okay, God, start to send me individuals who are, you know more than me, that are grown, that they're more progressed than me. Start to give me those people. I need those people in my life. And they started to show up.
Yes.
They started to show up. And then I said, and Lord, whoever needs to be fed, let them come in. Like, let them.
She was joking a couple of weeks ago and was like, all right, Lord, don't send no more.
Slow it down, Lord. Slow it down.
bit of a
Slow it
break.
down. But it was crazy, because we took a lot of individuals into our home.
Yep.
You know, they had to stay with us for a while, and it was one after another, and that takes a toll on you as
Yes.
well. You know, because you're really, really outpouring.
Right.
But I'm not surprised at it anymore. And I do feel like God does send us people that are at a transitioning,
Yes.
you know, point in their
Right.
life. And it is a lot of the time for a season. And I think that's the sad part for me, is that he does bring these people and they end up leaving, but I know that it's for the good. I know that what they needed out of this place was what they needed. And then they go to, you know.
Leah's like a mama bear.
Yeah.
For real, for real.
Cause
She
like
is.
if I could be vulnerable, like I was fed here.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like in a lot of ways. Obviously Chick-fil-A was one way. But like
I didn't cook for him.
but I'm just saying.
She never cooked for
You
you?
know what I'm talking about. Yeah, she
I
cooked.
maybe warmed up some stuff.
Actually, like remember the first time, because one day I was like, the only thing different between here and Brother Lux is he feeds me,
Yeah.
and then so the next day she fed me.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay. So you want me to cook for you?
What was it?
I don't remember I ate it
dogs or
though.
something?
Whatever, I ate it.
She said Dana asked me to cook for him.
Yeah. Sorry,
he didn't ask.
Nando.
He was just like, you know,
Sorry,
that's the only
Nando.
difference. And I was like, is that a subliminal message, or
It's like, yo,
are you hungry? Right.
I need to be fed. You know what I'm
Like,
saying?
their pizza's in the refrigerator, their
Right.
pop, their soda. Go ahead, get what you want.
The first time I did meet Dana in that studio above the restaurant, we did get fed.
Oh,
Hey,
remember
good
that.
food, huh?
It was good.
Good food.
Look at Whitney.
Oh,
look
did
at
I?
Whitney,
Oh, did you
look at
not?
Whitney.
Oh,
Leah's been fed. Trent's been
Sure.
fed.
Would you like?
Nope.
Hey, look, we don't work together no more.
Nope. I'm
Yeah, you don't
good.
got that black no more.
Fine, Dana. Don't eat none of my mac and cheese. Don't eat none of my sides on Thanksgiving when you
Shit, I
come
want
over
your
here.
mac and cheese.
No, don't eat shit.
you got a good mac and cheese, Whitney?
My shit is.
Oh, yeah, she made it the other day, and it was so good.
What's up?
Nope.
Look,
Nope.
Between the Sheets podcast with
fine.
another episode. You know what I'm saying?
fine.
Oh, shall I point? Is this the right time?
Well, let's talk a little bit more about your
Yes.
transition.
We need to talk
And-
about Trent and his transition into the Boudoir Suite with
Yes,
us.
Yo,
and
so-
it's really important to me because.
So let's go ahead. All right. I'm sorry. Go
Well,
ahead.
it is important because, you know, we did, and this is not to throw shade or nothing, but we really, we really branded Dana into the company. We
Right.
really put a lot of time and effort into
100%.
making sure that women were comfortable,
Yes.
because, and I explained that to you in one of our first meetings, that, women choose me because I'm a woman. And bringing a male into this very intimate setting is very intimidating, because they're already intimidated. They're already, even us being women, Whitney,
Yes.
me, if it's just us three, they're already intimidated. Women come in and they're shaking. Their hands are shaking. I've grabbed
Damn, look
women's
at your
hands.
ring. Hold on. Go ahead. Stunt your ring.
They're shaking, and I sometimes have had to like grab their hands, like
Yes.
it's gonna be okay.
Settle them down.
And then to bring a male perspective when they're feeling insecurities and they're feeling vulnerable, and women see themselves so differently than
we see him.
and not even just men, but other women. I feel like, women can be haters on each other. And that's where a lot of, I hate to say it, but that's where a lot of
Nasty.
women's insecurities come from.
Nasty.
Because, she said this about me, and they're just hating. They're just
Well, and
hating.
I've heard
I
women
mean,
even say it, and they don't mean it, I think, in the worst perception, but like, Lea is gorgeous.
Thank you.
And women will come
they're
in, or they
intimidated.
will see Lea come up the stairs, and I've heard women say it like, she's gorgeous. And it immediately puts them
it puts
in like
them
a vibe.
under. Puts them under instead of equivalent.
It does.
And I never want a woman to feel that way. Like,
No.
I want her to know that she
That's
is
crazy.
the star
I've
of the
heard
room.
people have said. I've heard 3 women say that with my experience with you.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's your nature that opens them up. Those women never stay in that platform
Right.
because you have such a genuine way
gift.
of visualizing the women individually for who they are. Just
And then
as they
also
are.
owning that
Yes.
that whatever that is that they throw at you because you are beautiful, owning it and then taking them on the experience to
Yes.
earn their trust.
Yes.
That's what you do.
Yes.
So-
And that's so important to me, because I feel like growing up, I feel like I was in. Oh, I'm saying
This
that.
is funny. Whitney, what's going
No,
on?
like, if I feel like I want to put up one of my pictures of like when I was in like grade
We
school,
should do
like, with
it.
big
We
teeth
should put
and,
up
like,
all of our old
big
like
old
pictures.
high hair, and like
Yeah.
I transitioned pretty nicely. Like, I feel like
I got nicer with age.
you know what I mean. No, but really what
Juanita
happened?
and her said it was her chola days.
Yes. I mean, khaki pants wearing, like, didn't show your shape off, like, just crazy. But I feel like when I started to find myself as a woman, that other women got very intimidated, and they never
Yes.
even gave me an opportunity. And that was really sad for me, because I was like, I'm a cool person. Like, if you would just get to know me, you would understand that, like, and they would. It really was like that for a long time, where I started to shrink down. I started to shrink down because I didn't want to make other women feel uncomfortable when I entered into a room, or when and I realized that and was like, I can't do that. I have to just showcase who I am. If they don't give me the opportunity, that's their loss.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That they're going to miss out on a great friendship, or they're going
Exactly.
to miss out on a great opportunity to meet me. But we've got to stop prejudging people. Like, we've got to stop doing
Yes.
that. You
Yes.
never know, what their heart is, so. Anywho, so this whole transition,
Right.
so you love comedy. That is like your number one dream.
Yes, I'm on this. I want to say, we were kind of talking about it when we were setting up, where you asked me about this shirt, and this is the Night of the Living Karens. I came up with this idea for this shirt in a.
If you could
graphic
make that,
designer.
remake that shirt and just do it a little hang off the
awesome,
shoulder,
huh?
I would sport it too. You know what I mean? Like, just off the shoulder.
Yeah. Ooh,
Yep.
you just gave me an idea.
I'll help you with the woman's side if you want to continue to create a line.
Let's talk about
I got some
that.
ideas.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But in that moment of transition where I came back to the Springs, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was working in sports marketing for like 6 or 7 years exclusively. So I was making my money in sports. With the pandemic, sports was in that weird freeze moment.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what I wanted to do. And so I started designing T-shirts with my ideas. At the time, I was just looking for a creative outlet. And I didn't know what it was. But I eventually figured out what I was seeking was comedy. Because video, up until that point, video production was my number one.
So were you the kid in class that like cut up and like?
Oh, for sure. Oh, for
I
sure.
could just
I
see
got
that,
suspended
yeah.
a bunch of times. Anybody who went to a high school with me, if there's this free Trent Cotten movement where I got suspended from the school, and a whole high school, jumped behind me, got behind me about that. I appreciate y'all. People still talk to me about that. But
Did they make
legendary.
t-shirts? Did they make
That's
t-shirts?
crazy.
they did make t-shirts.
Signs holding it up.
They did.
And what was it called?
Free T Cotton.
Free tea
Yeah,
cotton.
I was wrongfully accused of something I didn't do. And the school wanted to make an example
Oh
of
my
me.
God, that's we have Dana Lally, Dana Keith, and now we got T
Yes.
Cotton.
I
T Cotton.
cannot.
T Cotton up in the house.
Yes.
I cannot.
But
This is
no,
epic.
back to where I was figuring out what I wanted to do. And then video, there's like this, there's like this struggle of, okay, what should be my number one? We spoke about it a few weeks ago. Dana has said, like, hey, we need to, video production is bringing the income in and paying the bill. So it was this thought of like, I need to put focus on the main thing. And I was like, okay, I have to put comedy behind it. Maybe 24 hours, 48 hours I went by and I was like, this ain't going to work. Because I kept getting the validation from other comics, audiences, like, oh, you're good at comedy. And it's like, well, the reason why I'm to this point is because I've been putting all of this focus and energy on the comedy. So it's like, I either have to figure out how to put equal amounts of focus on both things, but I can't pull out of comedy. Otherwise, I'm going to regress in that.
And not only that, you'd probably become resentful.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you start taking away from the passions that you have, and whether it's because somebody's asking you to, because you're trying to conform,
Right. Make someone else happy.
and make somebody
Right.
else happy. Yes,
Right.
exactly. You can become resentful, and that's
That's
no
toxic
kind of
behavior.
way to live. It's just not.
Well, I was so figuring that out, and that's what I'm trying to, or what I've been working on. But then Dana, when I first, maybe after I met Dana the first time, and then we had a separate conversation away from Jules, Dana starts crying, talking to me, and I'm like, that's why I got mad respect. I got mad
Do you
love
cry
and
ever?
I'm very, you know what?
They gonna want
Maybe
you
we
to
can
cry.
talk about it. I don't cry a lot.
Oh, you don't cry a
I
lot.
can't. My daughter has brought me to tears, but,
Because they go,
He don't cry a
Oh,
lot.
we're gonna get you
They
though.
make me
I hope,
cry.
So
I
be
hope-
ready.
I hope you guys can pull it out of me because I'm
gonna
starting
get
to
you.
think. We were talking about it yesterday. Like these comics have like these dark,
Well,
I
and
feel
I
like
wanted to ask about
You said that in the car last night.
Well, and I know this because there's something that's usually covered. Do you know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
some people have like I'm gonna throw Whitney under the bus right now.
You know what?
So what I'm very observative of people. I am very super observative about people. I start to learn their demeanor. I start to learn how they
she
move.
learned my lip.
I learn things about people. Like I watch body language. It's my job to do that. It literally is my job to watch people because I need to make sure if they're comfortable. I need to make sure if they're, how they're feeling. And it's so important to really understand it. And because I am empath,
Yes.
I can feel stuff like almost immediately. And Whitney she giggles when she's nervous, or
All the
when
time.
she giggles a lot, or when something is uncomfortable, she'll tend to laugh through it.
Yep.
And so I hear that. I've noticed that about her. And so I'm wondering where, so if you guys hear Whitney giggling like a lot for,
She's
people that are
nervous.
talking,
They're trying to figure it out.
bus right now? It's not nice.
but I want to know like when did this start for you? Like really, can you identify in your life where you started to create these jokes or where you started to try to take, because sometimes it's taking the light off of something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
wow. I mean, gosh, I don't even know if I'm ready to even.
Oh, you're gonna be ready.
This is real, raw,
dive
and authentic.
Into that, I don't.
Don't worry, they'll give you episode 2.
I'll say this,
Interview
recently,
some more.
This time last year, we did have something in our family that kind of came out where we had to remove a family member, from our family. And, I can remember growing up, that family member was very, I didn't get shown maybe some of the love that maybe I thought I should have been shown. So when I would go to school, I felt like I did a lot of like, I wanted to be that class clown and make people laugh to receive maybe some of that love that I wasn't really getting.
You
at
wanted to be
home.
seen.
You were finessing.
Yes. And I feel like that
Fine.
created some weird, as I got older, and even to that, when I bring up when Dana, he cried and was like, yo, I prayed for somebody. Like I prayed that God would put you in my life. I feel like I have been told, and maybe that's why I'm still single, but I've been told that I lack a little bit of empathy. So there was a moment where I could feel exactly what Dana was like where he was at and why those tears were coming out. But because of my lack, I could not bring myself to match his like emotion to shed tears along with him, even though I might have wanted to. Like even when I texted Dana after we left the studio the other day, I was like, bro, I feel like crying because I feel like I should be crying right now because this was the thing, this transition thing. I feel like working with Lea, this could be the thing I need to allow me to keep the focus on the comedy side just by taking stress away from trying to find like, you know, video projects. If I could put my focus here in comedy, perfect. But it's like this lack of empathy that I think I developed as a kid because, yeah, I don't know. I kind of lost my train of thought. I wasn't expecting to get this.
So I'm gonna ask you a question.
Welcome.
So what would you say your why is? Because we all share our whys, and we're pretty, I feel like, individually passionate about our whys and why we're at this moment right now. What is your why?
Hold on, I'm so proud of you.
I told her that yesterday.
That was so good.
What?
I watched you grow up as a podcaster too. You know what I'm
You
saying?
guys will notice on the
But we're not gonna revert from the question.
Oh yeah. Okay, no, yes.
All right,
What's the why?
Yeah.
The why for me is, I mean, it's a combination of a few different things, but the main one being is like time. You know, I'm starting to value time over money. And I feel
so
like
important.
So I feel
Speaking
like
my language.
I want to, by doing whether it's this comedy or the video side of things, it creates more time for me to do the things I want. The more successful comedian I feel like I can become will create more time, you know, that I can do the things that I want to.
Love that.
But then also being a father, you know, I look at, you know, my daughter and, you know, I'm a co-parent and she spends the majority of time with her mom and her stepdad in Seattle and they're raising her, you know, a different kind of way. So I feel like if I chase my dreams and try to accomplish my goals, I'll be able to show my daughter that, you know, you can do whatever you want to do as well. I have this like responsibility I feel like I have to show to my daughter. So I'm like, so that's a big part of my why too. And then just laughter and comedy. As dark as this world is, you know, I feel like comedy, you know, laughing, if you shared a laugh, if you hated somebody, you know, your worst enemy and you guys were sitting down next to each other.
Right.
But if you were to able to share a laugh with your enemy.
Damn, that's powerful.
Yeah, that's
I
super
feel like
powerful.
that in that moment, you could look at each other and be like,
Damn.
Yeah.
you know,
It's really not that
Because
deep.
I've heard it
At all.
before, like to sit down with your enemy, have a conversation, but to share a laugh, that's like the next level. You know what I'm saying? You
That
guys
breaks
are
so many
enjoying-
barriers.
Yes.
breaks barriers and it
Yes.
allows you to maybe connect for that one moment.
One
What else
moment.
can we
And
kinda
relate.
to
Yeah.
and
I
connect with?
just want to just really quick just give a shout out to my husband because you know what?
Oh,
That's sweet.
That man makes me laugh.
Yes.
Yeah, he does.
And he cuts up and he says
He's funny as shit.
and he
so arrogant, but it's so
It's funny. It's so
I love
funny.
and
it.
he's never off. Like he's always on. Sometimes I'm like annoyed. Like, dude, do you ever turn this off? Like, can you stop right now? But there is, you know,
The whole time you guys are doing your comedy set, he's fucking with us behind us.
yes.
He's fucking with us. Her husband is.
We were low key kind of laughing because we were like, he probably thinks he's real good, and we're laughing about something else.
I did think I was crushing. That makes sense.
Oh no, you
That
were.
makes sense.
You were. But it was a little. No, he was doing. He was
doing
making
this thing to me, and
He
then
knows how to make
whoever's
like
next
it
to
sounds
me,
like a bug, so he'll go behind you, and it goes.
Oh, he's done that to
and
me.
he like this.
Yeah.
and he did it to me like 4 times, and like the first few times, like for real, I just thought it was a bug. It's like, I'm gonna just let the bug fly. You know what I'm saying? Then he kept doing it. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yes.
And it was your set. You were on set. You were.
Yeah.
That was
I thought I
really
was
rude,
killing it.
Fernando.
No, it's okay. No,
But he's
shout out.
funny. Hold on. Say what you were saying though, because I want him to get his plug.
Just that, like, I mean, if there's one thing that you know, when our relationship started, we did not have the love story. Like,
Really?
oh no, no, we were love.
You
That
have to
needs
get
to
this
be
story.
a pod. That's
I'm putting this on y'all.
yeah.
Trent, Whitney, look at me. Y'all need a podcast about
Yes.
this.
It was a love-hate relationship, like for sure. Like we played this chase game,
Right.
and you know, people get in love with the chase game, and so I was, you know, we were back and forth, but we were just at it. It was not like this beautiful, like, oh my God, I'm in love with you.
Right.
Da, da, da. It was like, no, I hate you. Like, you know, but I love to hate you. So.
Right. You get on my damn nerves.
Exactly.
Come over here.
What you doing tomorrow?
But he, yeah.
You hungry?
Yeah. You want some food? No. But the
what my
man
ass
keeps me
like.
laughing, and I think that is it's powerful. You know, when you can make somebody laugh
Yeah.
and you can
Yeah.
have and cut up and have a good time, that's priceless.
I
you
hate
know?
y'all comedians.
It's priceless for sure.
Somebody told me when I was younger, they said, hey, you gotta watch out for these dudes. If they make your girl laugh, bro, they take her drawers off.
What? Yes.
Jeez.
I
It's the
swear.
truth,
I swear
though.
to you.
It's-
Trent's
that's
over
the
there
truth.
smiling. Look at him. Look at him. Look at my G over there smiling.
Dang.
All right, between the sheets. All right, so let's bring this
Wait,
back
wait,
because
wait.
I want to say something.
I wait one more thing before we end that little part is that, you know, I got to give a scripture out to that because
Yes.
he talked about how dark this, you know,
World is,
the
and-
world is. And there is a scripture, it's Proverbs 17:22 that says a joyful heart is good medicine. And, laughing is that medicine.
Yes, it is.
You know,
Yeah.
it
We were
brings
just
so
talking
much
about it
joy.
the other day that somebody, what were we talking about? That if you force yourself to, is it smile or
Depression. So there was a
Yes.
study
Yeah.
done about
Yes.
depression, that if you are feeling depressed and you actually make the action of smiling, it tricks your brain into thinking that
Yeah.
you're happy.
Yeah, yeah,
And that is crazy.
medicine.
Right,
It's
right,
medicine.
You know, because your brain's like, okay, wait, I'm happy.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even
Find
though you may
something to
not
be
be.
happy
Yeah.
about. Right.
There's so many times where I've done a show and you know somebody will come up to me and be like, "Yo, man, I was having a bad day. Didn't even want to come to this, you know, comedy show. But you know what?
that.
You made me laugh, and like I feel a lot better because
Yeah.
I
That
came here."
behind the scenes of the
Yes.
comedy.
Yes.
Right. Right.
I love that.
Crazy.
That feedback loop is
Finish
important.
it. Did you finish it?
Yeah, no, that's
Okay.
it. Yes, I mean it's just that it's a joyful heart.
Yeah.
It is.
But-
It's good
Go
medicine.
ahead.
Yeah.
Dana.
So I want to bring us back to, you know, the transition into the suite. Because you have been a part of a couple
Yes.
shoots with us,
Yep.
which have been special. And then I want to make sure that I kind of dig into like, where are you at mentally? What do you think
Right.
so far? What do you like? How can we improve? Like, what's going on?
I'm glad you asked me that, and because you were kind of speaking on it a little bit with, you know, making these women feel comfortable. And first and foremost, like I feel like a sense of responsibility to be brought into these shoots.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I remember when we came to the party and I went upstairs to use the bathroom and somebody told me, "Oh, it's a boudoir shoot." I honestly was like, "Oh, I didn't really know what it was."
Right.
And then when Dana was like, "Hey, I'm transitioning over to something else, and I think you're the perfect guy to be brought into here," and so I just came to the first one thinking it was just, you know, some women in
Taking
nice
pictures.
clothes taking pictures. No big deal. I've shot a million different videos. I've been on a bunch of different
So
sets.
you didn't
I can handle
specifically
this.
tell him that these women are in lingerie?
No, I did. I
Yeah.
told him.
You
but,
did? Oh,
but,
okay.
but the first,
He's just saying
what
that
he's
his
saying,
first impression was like,
Oh,
okay, I'm gonna
okay,
take
okay.
pictures.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
be in
He told
lingerie.
me, I just was in my brain.
Right,
I'm
right,
just
right.
viewing it something.
Right,
Right, right.
you don't really know what goes on, because I made a joke early in the podcast which was kind of ratchet, but like like I made a joke like I was editing film, and so my buddy, which is your twin, looks at me and he says, "What do you do? OnlyFans?" Like, people don't really know what we do.
ghetto
You know what I'm saying? It was very ratchet, and I look back at that like that's one of my legendary moments. Like, you can't take me away. You know what I'm saying? I am who I am. Look, and I think your fans love me. But anyways,
Trent, they're gonna love you.
I
They're
hope
gonna
so.
love you.
I hope.
That's
But
the
the-
Danny Key fan club. Make sure y'all go on Facebook and follow.
Whitney,
OnlyFans.
I'm about to tag you. No, so the reason why I say it, I'm about to tag you. Make sure you join my group.
Nope.
All right. So anyways, the reason why I say that is because people have no idea what Lea does in that room.
Yeah.
Like, and it sounds like weird, but like, no kidding, it's the total opposite.
Right.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because it is truly women empowerment.
Yes.
Like, and what goes in there is special. And like what I talk about, like where she gains your trust through the experience, like it is an experience.
Right.
And like Whitney sets the tone right when you walk in, friendly love conversation. But like really, like that whole thing is nothing what people would think it is.
At
You know
all.
what I'm saying?
Right.
So when you came in, he did know what it was, but he
Right.
didn't know what's really
Right.
The
going
depth
on.
of it.
Right. I didn't know
Right.
the depth. You know, again, I just thought it was women wanting to take, you know, these sexy pictures. But, you know, that first day, after the interview, and you're hearing, what these women are struggling through, and that this gives them that opportunity to feel better about themselves. And then watching the whole day, the whole shoot kind of transpire, and I'm watching you work with these women and the process of
You gotta say her
them.
name. You gotta say her name.
Oh, Lea. Oh,
Yeah,
talk about.
yeah.
My
Anytime.
bad.
Yep.
Lea, you're
Only
right.
if you're on a different podcast.
Okay.
And you are like shouting out everybody else, but then you say that lady. I work for this lady
Down in Fountain.
down
you,
in Fountain.
You want some points?
My bad about that, Lea.
And on this new
bad
podcast, you
about
better
that.
not forget about me.
What? Hey, Lea.
Don't forget
Between
who
the
brought you
sheets.
there.
Between the sheets.
Say my name.
With Lea and
Say
Whitney.
my
Say my
name.
name.
Say my name.
Yeah. So when
I got some
when-
pajamas. I
so
gotta
you
show
were
you.
watching. So you
But
were
just watching-
So you were watching Lea.
But just watching
work.
Lea work with these women and this process of getting them to trust, and then again, I didn't realize I think this particular client did a full package, and what the last one entailed was, for me, I mean, I was extremely nervous, sweating, and I'm like, well, I don't want to be the reason why, Lea loses a client because, this new video guy is staring too hard or making her client feel uncomfortable.
And at the same time, you don't want to not do your job.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I just wanted to make sure that's why I'm like, there's this duty of responsibility that me being a man, you were speaking on that a little earlier, me being a man and even me thinking like, cause I'm going through that right now with my daughter, like 2 summers ago, my daughter was the, 7th grade and everything, nothing there. And then she comes back the next summer and then boom, she's a woman. So I don't want to make her feel uncomfortable, side hugs, or I don't want to say anything that'll bring this uncomfortable attention to her body as she's going through her transition. So,
ooh, that's a wild.
Yes, that's a good
twist.
nugget.
I've had some conversations. I'm telling you, I can't really.
If I can just tell you something on that, just a side note
That's
on
wild.
for fathers, and one thing that I learned, and I don't have daughters. My Noah was my triad, my girl, and he was a very beautiful little boy. But I didn't get any girls. But for
a reason.
Yes.
She got Whitney. Don't worry.
Yeah, well, I just could not handle it. I know now I couldn't handle it. But they say that one of the most important things for a father to do is a good touch to their daughters, and not to make them feel like, and I know that you're trying to be respectful in that form and that way, but is to really embrace them, like, and show them like, this is the good kind of touch and this is okay. This is, and because if you don't, then they seek it out
search
elsewhere.
for the wrong things. What?
Damn, that's super deep.
Yes.
That's a wild twist for the end of this podcast.
It
Like,
really is.
oh, I'm
ain't
just
at the end
I'm
yet.
just saying, like, the way that came back around,
Yes.
like that transition that
But
you're
that is-
aware of.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That's
Well,
crazy.
I love that you said that. You when you talked to me about that the other day, is that he kind of said that he struggled a little bit because he was like, wait, like you going out the house like that,
right?
And that he had to kind of hold himself back, like, wait, I don't want to make her feel uncomfortable about her body and that transition that she's going through.
Because I know if I immediately make a comment about her outfit, and again, I get her, 1 summer or 1 month over the summer, every other school break and holiday. So if I make a comment about an outfit that she's wearing, she's immediately going to be like, my dad is worried about my body, and then it's going to lead to, it could lead.
Well, it's something's wrong with me.
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't want to go down there. So I try to just approach it, a little different, where I don't want to make her feel, I don't want to make her feel uncomfortable. And with me being in bars and a lot of these clubs every night as I pursue these comedy dreams, dudes can be creeps. I know women can too. I'm not letting you guys off the hook.
Hey, that's what I
Women can be
love.
creeps,
I
too.
can't wait for that.
But,
I'm gonna be weak.
Men are creeps, and I see it all the time where they just can't see them, like they can't see that they're making some of the women that they're talking to in these bars feel extremely uncomfortable, and that's always been on my mind. So when I approached that shoot, like I already kind of lived my life of like, I don't want to say anything or do anything to make this girl feel uncomfortable. So
I just want to let you know, again, because I'm so observative, I'm watching when you don't think I'm watching.
She's watching you all the time.
And
Leah got eyes in the back of her head.
I have to say, you held yourself with such composure and like just very professional, which I
in sweats.
Yeah.
Which
Which was my fault. Which I'll take full I'll take full credibility for that. But to be able to pull that off, that meant a lot to me.
That quick.
Like you pulled that off the same way that we talked about Lea
fact,
gaining trust. You gained our trust very quickly.
And even the fact that you were worried about what you wore. He came to me, side note, afterwards and was like, look, you know, I'm not typically going to be dressed like this. I just want you to know. Like, that was very respectful. Like, he wants to hold a demeanor. He wants to hold, you know, a certain, you know, a stage to say, hey, this is my professionalism. So I highly respect that, you know.
Right. And he even took credibility, but it was my fault. Just so y'all know.
and passing it back to Dana, the feedback that we have gotten over and over from the video portion is that he's professional. I didn't even realize he was there. It was like a fly on the wall. You know, one of the ones is it was like having your girlfriends around because he's such a crybaby. You know what I mean?
Well, and there's even been, but I mean, there is even been. I'm dead. There have even been women that have said in the shoot before, and it's definitely those different kind of laid back type of vibe type of women. But they've been like, you know, it helped them. And it elevated their game a little bit to have the other sex in the room.
Yeah.
So I think that that's important to notice as well, because for some women, they enjoy that. Not all women are coming in to take pictures for their significant other. Some of them are coming in
divorce,
for
weight loss,
and that's
celebration.
And that's what I want to make sure that I say too, because now that I see exactly what you guys are doing, and it's more than just taking pictures, but you're empowering these women. I respect what you're doing here with your business, Lea, because I'm a fan of not only business owners who, you know, obviously you're in business to make money. Yes, but I love it even more where it can go into this world of helping people.
Isn't that's the beauty of art? Like when you take it to that next level, like you can't really describe it to people until they experience it. Like there's some shoots that when we're done, we're like, what the hell just happened?
Right.
Like that was incredible. And we blow your mind at the ones that happen, that how it happens. It's like, oh my God, like
you never know I never know what's
about it makes when I complain about life, I be like, man, what the fuck am I complaining about? Like these women have been through hell and back, and they powerful at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So that's what I love. And like that was the whole reason, my whole thing with like creating the video side of what I saw with what Lea does was because of the story. The first woman that we ever shot that was like our like test subject.
What was
she had like a skin thing. Like she was an older lady, but like she had a skin thing. Or maybe it was the first woman that I saw that I didn't film, but like she had such a crazy story that I was like, what the hell is going on in here? And Lea goes, oh, it's crazy. It's one after another. You should hear this story. You should hear this one. It's like, what the?
It's very, I mean, we have the women that are coming in to celebrate and they're getting married and they're happy. And there's women that are like just very comfortable with themselves. But those are the rare.
Yeah.
You know, so the majority is really, really deep, intense stories of, you know, things that have happened to them in their lives.
And this is, my bad, cut you off, but this is my favorite part about what we've done is that when we present these videos, there's 3 videos. First one is a highlight video. It's like just highlights the experience. Second one is fun and sexy. Like it's going to show the more fun side to the shoot or more intimate for yourself or your partner. The third one is the story. You forget about 1 and 2 every time that third one hits. You know what I'm saying? Unless like they don't care about the story, but like the third one is normally the icing. Like I forget every time about 1 and 2. That's how powerful the story is to these women.
Yeah, and then them seeing it played back for them and seeing how they are speaking on themselves from the start interview to the end interview and seeing their growth from just that short little bit of time that they're with you guys is incredible.
See, there's a lot of parallels to, you know, when you asked me that why part, and I feel I'm hearing a lot of parallels with like comedy and why I do what I do, because it's that concept of you know, when like people when they come here, they leave better versions of themselves when they leave here. And you know, you guys are helping them get to that point. And that's the same thing with comedy. It's like my goal is like, I want these people to leave better than what they came. So if they're laughing and all they're having a good time, they're going to leave better, you know, than what they came. So I'm just a fan of that. And it makes me want to not only be a part of this, but when I am a part of it, it makes me want to play my position
Right.
and play my position to the fullest to add to what you guys have already built.
Right. Add value to someone's life, man. That's the secret sauce.
Yes.
We talk about it.
Yes,
it is.
No, that's beautiful, and I think that's a great kind of note to end on. I want to say one last thing is that you had mentioned your why had a lot to do about time, and it's not the money piece, and yet you do have wisdom to know that having money allows us to do what it is that we want to do, and so there is that piece in it. But I want to just encourage you not to lose yourself trying to find yourself, because we can get into a rut of trying to go, and we will hit all of these goals, and we will hit, at least for in speaking in my own personal life, is that you can hit goal after goal after goal after goal, and then feel like, okay, what's next, and not enjoy the in between of you start to forget your why.
Right.
And that part is so important, whether it's your passion, that you make sure that you stay true to and make time for that. And, spending time with your daughter or doing things or going places, is to really make sure that you are doing those things, because otherwise you're just living for somebody else and you're just living to make that money.
You have to feed yourself.
And you lose
have
yourself, so don't lose yourself trying to find yourself.
Powerful. God, dog.
I need my daughter to meet you guys.
Yes.
With me and Leah. Yeah.
Yes.
When she'll be out here for Thanksgiving
What's her
and
name?
Christmas. Her name is McKenna.
McKenna.
I love introducing
McKenna.
my daughter to, strong and powerful women.
Yes.
That's
so
beautiful.
I got to make that happen.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
My
That's
sister
it.
be in
Maybe
town for
we'll-
Thanksgiving.
maybe we'll
Have a
Wait to
children's
meet her.
version of the podcast.
Yeah. 14, right? She's
Kids
14.
She's 14. She's 14.
She's a damn
Shut
woman.
Shut
She
up.
grown as hell. My son 3.
Yeah.
What up,
little
Leah?
baby, you little baby.
I don't want to do this. This
What
is
up,
going to
Whitney?
make me sad.
Look, y'all, I love y'all. This has been a beautiful. This for me to sit back on that second half was beautiful. I love this.
Growth hurts.
Super proud of y'all.
Change hurts.
I'm already getting
It stretches
teary-eyed.
us.
This
Look,
sucks.
Look, but y'all don't understand how uber grateful, and I say grateful, and I mean that word, like grateful I am of y'all. Y'all are special. I'ma cry.
We
I
love you,
y'all.
Dana.
We
Love
love
y'all
you too.
forever.
We love you very much.
Translate
Love
too,
you, Dana.
dog.
Don't do that.
Dana, I want to cry. I can't, but I want to.
Sorry. You got empathy in your heart. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. So, this is the last one, and maybe in between sometime when he finds time, which
Yeah, I'll be back for the yo.
if he can find time.
I'll be back for the part 3
Yes.
that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That y'all sped up part 2, so I ain't even, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna have to do part 3.
Yep.
I'm gonna act like a celebrity, because I'm gonna give y'all the exclusive interview
What?
that y'all been waiting for.
We get it first.
Yeah, y'all get it.
You heard it first. We
Okay.
get
You
it
know what I'm
first.
saying?
All right.
Yeah, for real.
If I see any type of post of you talking to brother about what you doing, I'm going to be hot.
Well, I'm gonna talk to brother, but you know what I'm saying? This is different over here. You
Good.
heard?
That's what I like to hear.
I love y'all motherfuckers.
Is that emotional?
Yes.
That emotion.
We
Yeah.
changing lives over here, y'all.
I want to encourage anybody that is going through some kind of change right now, or some kind of
look at
transition,
Leah.
or some kind of,
powerful.
it makes us uncomfortable, and we are very, unaware of the unknown, and that portion that's the most uncomfortable part, is not knowing if this is going to be the right
Jumping.
decision, not knowing if this is going to take you, you know what I mean, and
Right.
that stretching. There is something in stretching.
All right, let's go around the table. Give them a tip or advice for a transition
It's-
and dealing with that stretch.
just to really approach it with an open mind, because there is so much growth that can happen when you're transitioning, and you cannot grow unless you are uncomfortable.
Yes.
You cannot. You just can't.
Damn,
you
that's so
stay
true.
inside of that little bubble that makes you feel safe and comfortable, and you don't take chances, risks. If you don't become irrational sometimes, or just make moves,
Right.
you will never move into the next segment of your life.
Yes.
Powerful. Trent, what you got for us?
I like that part of during that transition, don't be afraid to bring people in and sharing, your goals and your
Yes.
dreams and I guess, the code or whatever. Just don't be afraid to bring others in and let them know. So
Yes, I love
That's
that.
powerful.
I love
What
it.
you got, Whitney?
I would say jump with your eyes open and your arms open.
Ooh,
Jump all the
that's
way
a
in.
good one.
Just jump.
I love that.
promise. And Leah said it earlier. God is not going to let you fall. Not at all. He always finds a way.
That's
Always.
powerful.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm gonna pull out of kind of what Leah said, and what I get out of it is like during transition, when you are scared, be proud of yourself. Like you in that transition for a reason, and like the next step you have to take. So be proud of where you at and go get it. You know what I'm saying? That would be what I say.
I love it.
That's where I'm at in life.
All right, Dana, go get it.
I love you, motherfuckers.
Hey,
All right. The last plug. All right, because I watched those 2 interviews that you did with me, and you made me visualize my house.
What's
and
it
like,
look like now?
So like it's still on my vision board. I told y'all that, and then the studio's on my vision board. But like it's different. I always talk about think it, believe it, write it down. But what you did was you watered the seed for my imagination.
Oh my God.
And then like I can see it now. I feel it now. Like I can be a homeowner. I never really believed that. But I love you for real. Thank you. I'm emotional. I got them crying.
Dana.
I'm crying too. Trent, sorry, bro. You just unemotional ass motherfucker.
Inside,
I want to
though.
give one last scripture.
I love y'all, man.
We love you. We love you very much.
Speak. Speak. Fill in the space. Give me a joke.
Give me a joke.
All my jokes,
Give me a joke.
most of my jokes make fun of my baby mama, and I don't want to do that to her. I don't want to do it to her right
this
now.
podcast. No,
Yeah.
don't do that.
Not right now.
No. So this is Isaiah 54:2-3, and it says, "Enlarge."
Get through it. It's okay.
You want me to read it? All right. Enlarge.
Yeah.
This
Okay.
one. That's
Enlarge
sweet,
the
man.
place of your tent. Stretch your tent curtains wide. Do not hold back. Lengthen your cords, strengthen your stakes, for you will spread out to the right and to the left. Ooh. Your descendants. I don't got my glasses on.
My nigga need help.
Your descendants will destroy nations and settle in the desolate cities. That's
That's the
Isaiah
joke.
54:2-3.
Your descendants will dispossess nations and settle in their desolate cities, which just means that.
All right, Leah.
for
let-
you, Dana.
So,
That's
Leah,
for
you got me. God, that was a
Got me
powerful
too.
one. That was a
got me
powerful
too.
message.
so that's it, guys.
That's it. Say bye to Dana, y'all.
Between the sheets.
Bye, Dana Keith.
Bye, Dana. Bye, Dana Keith.
We all cried on this one.
Not me.